Today we're going to take a look at the Bloody Mary Hillstream Loach. It's a beautiful fish that is captivating the aquarium hobbyist due to its dark body and its bright red markings down its back and its tail. It is quite a hardy fish as long as these specific requirements are met. But what are those requirements? The Bloody Mary Hillstream Loach is originally found in the fast-moving rivers and streams of Borneo, Southeast Asia. Now, the Bloody Mary Hillstream Loach hasn't actually been individually assessed by the IUCN, but other Hillstream Loaches are actually classed as near threatened, so we can only assume that the Bloody Mary is in that same bracket. Females will grow to an average of around 6 centimetres, where males will come in just slightly smaller. They are a social fish, so if you're going to keep them in your aquarium, you're best keeping them in groups of at least 3, but obviously preferably more than that. If you are thinking of adding them to your aquarium, then they do require specific requirements. That depends what you want to get out of your Bloody Marys. So we'll start with substrate. They will be quite happy with a gravel substrate, but if you're looking at breeding, then you're going to be looking more at a fine gravel or even a sand substrate. We will cover breeding later on in the video. When it comes to hardscape, smooth rocks, wood are all essential. No jagged rocks, no sharp bits on your wood. They also do like caves, so they can retreat into those caves. Now, plants in their natural habitat, the Bloody Marys won't really come across plants, but it's good to put plants into your aquarium because they will oxygenate the water, which is a specific requirement for all Hillstream Loaches. Because Hillstream Loaches do prefer fast flowing water, plant selection is then essential. So you want to be looking at plants like Java ferns. Moss is quite a good addition to your Hillstream Loach setup. Anubias, hardy plants, crypts are great plants that can handle the flow. If you're going to go for weak stem plants that aren't going to really handle the flow that Hillstream Loaches require, then you are wasting your money. So look for more hardy plants. As I've just said, the Bloody Mary Hillstream Loach do require fast flowing water, so it's essential that you add a wave maker to the setup. You can also get good flow through your filtration system. Hillstream Loaches prefer clean water. So when you're thinking about filtration, a canister filter or a sump filter is best. Just make sure that the water is delivered back into the aquarium through the duct build outlets rather than a spray bar, just to create the flow that they require. Although the plants that you've added to the aquarium will oxygenate the water through photosynthesis, it's also advised to add a decent air pump with an air wall rather than just an air stone. An air wall will heavily oxygenate the water, which is again a specific requirement for Hillstream Loaches. Always make sure there is good surface agitation just to get that water as oxygenated as you possibly can. As for lighting, it is more advised to keep your lighting a little bit higher just so it grows the algae a little bit faster to give the Hillstreams the algae in the diet that they require. We will cover diet later on in the video, but algae is a must. Now, they do prefer slightly cooler water, so if you can look at temperatures from 18 to 24 degrees Celsius, which is 64 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, they will thrive in them conditions. They do prefer slightly softer water, so your pH needs to become between 6 and 7.5, and your GH between 4 and 12. When it comes to tank mates, this can be a little bit tricky, but not overcomplicated. They are a non-aggressive fish, so it's always best to add them with other non-aggressive fish. So you can add them with otocinclus, tetras, danios, plecos. A great addition to a rainbow fish aquarium. All you've got to think about is the conditions. Hillstreams love that flow, so make sure that the tank mates do require good flow as well. As I say, a great addition for a rainbow fish aquarium. If you're thinking about adding Hillstreams to your better tank, then think again, because the requirements are different. Tank mates, if they prefer good flowing water and they're non-aggressive, then they are the ideal tank mate for your Hillstreams. When it comes to diet, they will naturally eat biofilm and algae. They eat green spot algae, brown diatoms, green hair algae, and they have even been known to nibble on BBA. But they will also take in frozen foods like brine shrimp, daphnia, bloodworm, and they will take good quality dried foods as well. Flake, fluval bug bite pellets, algae wafers. Just keep an eye on the algae level, because they are ferocious algae eaters. So if the algae level drops, then drop in an algae wafer. But it's also good to feed them things like shelled peas, cucumber, blanched lettuce, blanched spinach, stinging nettles, anything like that. Just make sure you are adding plenty of greens to the diet if the algae level drops in your aquarium. Sexing Bloody Mary Hillstream Loaches is said to be quite difficult, when actually it's not. When they're adults, males will come in slightly smaller than females, but there is actually a really easy method to sex them, and it's easily done when they're on the front of your glass. The male Hillstream Loach, the pectoral fins near the head will be more squared, whereas the females are more rounded. When you're buying them in the shop, you're not really going to be buying them at adult sizes. They're going to be young. So size doesn't really matter, but the pectoral fin is the giveaway. Breeding Hillstream Loaches is said to be quite difficult, but I've actually seen it done, and done successfully, quite easily, as long as the conditions are right for them. They are egg layers, so you need to provide the correct substrate. Either a fine gravel or a sand substrate is going to be perfect for them. The male will dig a little pit, and the female will deposit the eggs into the pit. The male will then fertilise the eggs and cover them over with the substrate. If you're going to breed Hillstream Loaches, remove all your bottom feeders, fish like Corydoras for example, because they will happily hunt down those eggs and they will eat those eggs. If they're removed, once those eggs are buried, after around 2 weeks, those little baby Hillstream fry are going to start emerging from the gravel, and they will start feeding on any of the biofilm, the diatoms and the algae that's forming on your hardscape and plants. Other adult Hillstreams won't bother with the fry, they will just happily let them graze. But some of your other tank mates will probably start trying to hunt them down. So if you want to breed them successfully, it's probably better off to remove them to eliminate them being eaten. I wouldn't recommend adding any Hillstream Loaches to a brand new aquarium. This is because the biofilm and the algae growth won't be there. Now, a lot of new aquariums do get overrun with algae growth, but don't be tempted to add Hillstreams to the aquarium to combat that algae growth. New aquariums get hit with algae growth problems due to light control. And if you want to know more about that, then watch this video next. I'll see you there. Until then, Take care.